It finally fucking happened. UFC 300 finished last night. I just woke up. It's 8 a.m. It finished for me at 2 a.m. Man, my sleep schedule is going to be rough for the next few days, but oh my god, if you're a UFC fan, you're going to be in post-nut clarity for the next month minimum. I just can't put into words how fucking amazing this event was. I'm not a long time fan, like I haven't been here for decades and shit. This was by far the best card I think I've ever watched. I think it might be the best card ever in the UFC. It delivered in a way that was just so fucking perfect. But anyways, I'm gonna get into a breakdown of UFC 300, a rough idea of how the fights went. Um, and just my takes, my thoughts, and things to look out for in the future. All right, without further ado, hold on. Oh, anyways, without further ado, Davison Figueiredo, Cody Garbrandt. I believe I made a prediction video, and I think I picked Cody Garbrandt. I think everyone knows that like Cody Garbrandt was like a kind of one of those flyers. Like if you're picking him, you're picking him to win by knockout, not really picking him by decision or submission or whatever. Um, Also, I'm gonna fully say I don't bet on fights, but yeah, this fight was just not. It wasn't great for Cody, but I think a lot of people are shitting on him a little too much. I see a lot of people saying that like Cody Garbrandt just gave up. I mean, in round one he was looking good. He definitely was faster. He definitely was finding his timing. Um, and if you were a Figgy fan, you knew he was just gonna get knocked out in round two or three at that point. Because like if Cody's outspeeding you in round one, he's just gonna outspeed you the whole fight. And for the most part, that's kind of what I thought because Figueiredo, at least in bantamweight so far, is very, very, very patient to the point where he has no bloodthirst in him whatsoever. So it makes me very worried. Sorry, I was just making sure my mic was working. Makes me very, very worried for any sort of good striker with Figueiredo. Because if you're just sitting there karate stance, asking to be low kicked, asking to get like a fucking clean uppercut on like an entry, it's rough. And Cody does that, except for the low kicks. He probably should have went for the legs a little bit more. It is what it is. But I mean, in round two, like you got to give the guy some credit. Yeah, he did get taken out by Figueiredo. Figueiredo is not a dog shit grappler. You know what I mean? I will say, if you picked Figgy and you said he was gonna win by submission, you're just straight up fucking lying. Like, don't kid yourself. Like, you are a liar. And I can't trust you on anything on this planet because there's no way you're picking Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt and saying that Figgy wins by submission. That's just not fucking happening. Um, yeah, you're just a fucking liar. Like, I've seen some people say, oh, they knew Figgy was gonna win. Yeah, not by submission. Shut up. Like, what? Um, but nonetheless, like, you gotta give Cody some credit. He was able to pull off some pretty good defense when it came to the submissions. Yeah, he did get choked out in the later end of round two, but he was being laid on for literally what was it, like 3 minutes and 30 seconds or some shit. And he survived all that time, basically with like his fucking arm tucked, where he's about to get choked out with a arm in. I think it's just an arm choke or what I forget what the name is. But yeah, like he had his arm in and he literally defended like this, barely breathing for like 3 minutes. So I just think it got to a point where he just didn't have breath anymore, and it's just like he can't fucking focus on defending against Figueiredo. And it is what it is. Um I don't think this like ruins Cody Garbrandt at all. You know what I mean? Like Figgy's like number 8. He'll probably jump to number 7 or 6 after this fight in bantamweight. Like this isn't bad for Cody. Like you can still give him a ranked fight. I think you got to give him an unranked fight just because it's a loss. But I'm not like opposed to Cody Garbrandt getting a ranked like number 15, 14. Real quick, I'm just gonna look up. Um, who is? Yeah, give him Pedro Munoz. You know what I mean? Like, I think he smokes Munoz. He might actually finish Munoz. That could be a good fight. You know, Munoz isn't like a. If you're fighting Munoz, a lot of people just assume you're not going to finish him because he's never been finished, you know? Martinez, if Martinez loses, you know? Mario Batista is kind of falling off, you know? No, wait, he's coming off a good win, I think. I might be wrong there. Um, but yeah, like, give him one of these guys, you know? Don't jump him up to someone who could be in title contention, you know? But yeah, rooting for Cody Garbrandt. Sucks that he got submitted. It is what it is, you know? You can come back strong. Moving on, we have one of my favorite fucking fights of this year for outside of the rest of this card, this is probably my favorite fight up to this favorite fight of the year up until this point. Bobby Green just masterclass Jim Miller for 3 rounds straight up. Yeah, he did get the thing with Bobby Green is that when he gets tagged or when he gets hurt at this point in his career, it's very hard to know when he actually is hurt and when he's actually tagged, because he does this thing like Justin Gaethje a lot where he'll just look hurt without a punch being thrown, but that's not like a it's not like a bad thing. It's just a thing they do, and it's typically to get like a reaction to get them to like get a big burst going, you know. I'm not talking about like the Jalen Turner stuff. Obviously, I know he got knocked out there, and he was hurt like right before he got the 1-2'd, you know, on the dome, and then he got fucking flatline KO'd. Man, dark times. Anyways, yeah, Bobby Green. I think he did get hurt at some point by Jim Miller. The fact that Jim Miller could stand with not being able to see after, I think it was round 2, it might have even been round 1, his face was fucked. If you have spare time, find fights or find highlights of this fight somewhere on Twitter or something. It was actually insane. For a 37-year-old and a 40-year-old man to just fucking eat shots the way they did and to just never quit, like both of these guys wanted it. Both of these guys wanted to win. You know. You know what I mean? Um and like some people are ragging on Jim Miller for the fight. I don't see it too much. I mean, it is what it is. Like you lose to Bobby Green. It's just the thing is that you got to realize Jim Miller is 40 years old. You know what I mean? Like 40 years old in a lightweight class is rough, you know? And Bobby Green's fucking Demetrius Johnson's age, you know? And I know Demetrius Johnson is about to retire, but like Bobby Green is only gonna get slower and he's only gonna get chinnier and he's only gonna get I guess like weaker, but man, does he look fucking good. He just looks like if you put this Bobby Green against pretty much anyone in the top 10 for fucking lightweight, it's hard to just be like Bobby Green doesn't win that. You know what I mean? Like this guy's still a game. He's sick. Um, he got a knockdown. I don't remember him getting knocked down. I thought he got knocked down. Bobby got knocked down, but I could be wrong there. I don't even remember the takedown. There was a takedown. Anyways, yeah, it was just a masterclass. It was a sick fight. I'm glad I was in the era that this fight happened because it was just, man, after this fight, it was just like, man, the last like 4 weeks, if you've been an MMA fan and you've been watching the dog shit that we've had for 4 weeks, this is like ecstasy. This is like heroin. This is like you snorted a coke line and you're just like sitting there like, ah, that's what I'm talking about. You know, it was just good. Great fight. Even if you were on Jim Miller's side, I can't imagine you were upset with this fight. It was just a sick fight. Jim Miller showed his toughness. Bobby Green showed he still has it. I think you can put Bobby Green against like a ranked, like a good ranked fighter now. Probably. Hmm. You know, I'd like to see Armin, when we get to Armin, fucking lose and then fight Armin and just knock out Armin. That would be like the highlight, I think, of my entire life. Because if you don't know, Armin's a little cunt. Ah, fuck. I probably just got striked or some shit. But Armin's a bitch. He just called out Bobby Green in like a gay way, and then he decided to talk shit. Um, like after Bobby Green got knocked out to Jalen Turner, and he was like, keep punching, brother. Keep punching. Shut the fuck up. Get out of here. No one wants to see your dumb ass. Get the fuck out of here. So I hope Armin gets up in his next fight, but we'll get to that. Yeah, do Bobby Green. Ooh, Bobby Green have. I'm not sure if Dan Hooker and Bobby Green fought, but you could do like Bobby Green, Dan Hooker, Bobby Green, RDA. Where is RDA? Yeah, number 12. That's not bad. Bobby Green, RDA. Just like get rid of another old fighter. No offense to Bobby Green, but like RDA was still looking pretty good at 40 years fucking old. So just do that fight. I don't know. I think that's a sick fight. Or like whatever. Bobby deserves like whatever. I don't give a fuck. Give him like a top 5 if he wants it. He's 37, you know. Um, and then we have Jessica Andrade, Marina Rodriguez. Moving on, we have Jalen Turner, Hanato Moicano, and now I must say, nah, I'm joking. I'll break down the fight. Um, nah, Jessica Andrade, like I'm just gonna be honest, women's MMA just doesn't belong on good cards. Straight up. It just doesn't belong. Like if we have a good card, can we just have like all men's? And I'm not trying to be sexist, but you cannot watch Bobby Green, Jim Miller, and go to Jessica Andrade, Marina Rodriguez and think that's okay. You just can't. Straight up. Um, Watching Jessica Andrade and Marina Rodriguez was like watching the older sister fight a younger sister. And one is slightly more manlier than the other one. Um, there was just like no technique. It was just like stiff fucking like Marina Rodriguez just looked stiff. She would like throw a right hand and then she would like throw a back fist as she's coming back with the right hand. And then Jessica Andrade, there was a few moments where she looked like a pro fighter. Um, but outside of those like 15 seconds where she was a pro fighter, a lot of it was like her not shifting weight or anything and just throwing her hand to throw her hand. Like it's just why does it exist? Like why do we have this at all? But I guess good win for Jessica Andrade. I didn't think it was a split. I thought Jessica won 2 of the rounds pretty clear. Um, I just think it's just their shit. Like I just don't care. Like it's like when like imagine you come home and you and your boy are like fighting on a game. He made a wrong call out and you're just shit talking him, and now you guys are in an argument. And then you go to like having your 2 fucking kids, your 2 daughters, just like have a slap fight. That's what this is. You go from an intense, high pressure situation to like just shut the fuck up, move on. You know, just get it done. It is what it is. Whatever. Moving on, we have Renato Moicano, Jalen Turner. Um, Now I will say, Moicano, love you. You have some of the best post-fight speeches of all time, especially because you're not a English fighter, and you speak English in your post-fight speeches, and it's coherent and it's pretty fucking good. So many respects, brother. Um, you gotta keep your hands up, brother. You gotta keep your hands up. I think almost every single fight you've been in lightweight, you've been dropped pretty bad. Very bad, like real quick, if we're just gonna take a look. Um, Drew Dober, I think you got dropped. Or it was just like a sloppy takedown, I couldn't tell. Wow, that never happened? Fuck, eh? Huh. That was gonna be Simone. Huh. That would have been a sick fight. Um, but yeah, like, was this lightweight? It was catchweight, so I think it was like what 50 or 60 or something weird. Hernandez is good, but yeah, like, damn, when the fuck did you fight Fiziev? BJ Herbert's really good. Yeah, this Fiziev fight, this like I was getting flashbacks. I don't know if any of you guys remember this. I was getting fucking flashbacks. Fiziev landed that overhand right, like where they were very close, and Hanato got his head snapped off or bounced off the canvas. He was hit so hard, and then he tried protesting it was an early stoppage. I don't know. You'd probably say it's an early stoppage today. It wasn't. And the fact that Jalen Turner didn't get an early stoppage, to be fair to like Moicano and everything, this is UFC 300. I don't think the refs are like trying to eagerly go in for an early stoppage here. Um, it's just like Jalen Turner has this thing where he quits on himself every single time when he gets frustrated. That's the only reason why me personally I thought Bobby Green was going to be Jalen Turner. Literally because Bobby Green is perfect at getting in your head, and Jalen Turner has the lowest mental ability of any UFC fighter I think I've ever fucking seen. Um, a lot of my friends were betting on Jalen Turner. They thought he was very safe. I mentioned, listen, man, Jalen Turner has got to be one of the most inconsistent fighters I've ever fucking seen. He's 6'3". Stat wise, okay, think about this, guys. Stat wise, he's as tall as Yuri Prohaska, who fights at 205, and this freak is fighting at 155, okay? Think about that, okay? And then think about this. He's 14-8. That is not a great record. He can't beat anyone who's ranked. He beat Bobby Green. Uh but Bobby Green's 37. Or I think he was 37 for that fight. Little different story though, because like Bobby Green kind of walked into that KO. But that's just how Bobby Green fights. He basically baits his head until, he gets you to throw something and then bada bing, bada boom. And he was winning round one anyways. So if that round one did finish, Jalen would have quit. I truly believe that. Jalen Turner, like, he just can't fight past round one. If he loses round one or he gets frustrated at something, he loses every single fucking time. There's not a fight. I don't think he's ever won a decision. Um, there's not a fight that he can win past round one. Uh, in terms of like quitting on himself, he does it like, especially recently. Like there was the Dan Hooker fight after round one. He basically just said, "Ah, fuck it, I'm not gonna win anyways." Um, Bobby Green had almost happened, and then this fight had happened for sure. He was definitely winning round one, but he had that moment where he knocked down Moicano. To be fair, it was a straight right. Or sorry, it was a straight left. And it was close. Up until that point, I would say ish, kind of close. But he dropped them. Ref didn't step in, definitely because the ref was so far. But Moicano was like out of it, Like if Jalen just did a follow up like right hand or like a hammer fist, it would have been called. But this dumbass wanted to walk off KO like he does every single fucking fight. And when he tries this walk off and he's like, nah, bro, nah, he's out, nah, I'm not fighting. You're not the ref, dumb fuck. You fight till the ref says you don't, you dumbass. Like, if you can't understand that in lightweight, you'll never be anything. Get the fuck out of the division. You're 6'3". I don't know if you don't train for fights. I don't know what it is. You don't have it. Like, at all. Even being a genetic freak. But yeah, so that was just the early prelims. Man, this card was actually fucking stacked to the brim. Sick fights. I might cut this into parts. I might do early prelim, and main card. Because how long is this video already? It's 20 minutes? Holy shit, this might be my longest video. But it's just that good, to be honest. It is genuinely that good. Now moving on. Oh my god. Diego Lopes versus Sadiq Youssef. I believe I picked Diego Lopes versus Sadiq Youssef in my breakdown. And it's just because Diego Lopez hasn't looked human in any of his fights. Mozavar should have tapped. He just didn't tap. If he did tap, Diego Lopez probably would be fighting for the belt right now. He's just not. He Diego Lopez's biggest strength is that he knows when to be bloodthirsty. Like he knows it. You know, whether it's because his eyes are so close to each other that like they just instantly start seeing red at the right time. I don't know what it is, but he just knows like when he needs to go in every single time. And Sadiq has shown to get cracked, has shown to quit, has shown to fumble the bag. Um, but I was not expecting a round one fucking dismantling of Sadiq Yusuf's chin. He'll never be the same again. Diego Lopez hits fucking different. This guy's a killer at featherweight. Ilia Topuria, buddy, you just got your fucking boots shaking. After fucking tonight, oh my god, you bet Ilia Topuria's regretting everything he's ever said on fucking Twitter about all these fucking featherweights, no one's on his level, blah blah blah. Lopez is coming for your ass on crit. This motherfucker's it, bro. Like, two strikes is kind of funny. But yeah, basically, if you didn't see the fight, it was just Sadiq Youssef. It was literally like within the first few seconds, Sadiq Youssef tried going for like a jab or something, and Diego Lopez landed with a clean like Armin Saruki and Benil Dariush-esque combo, just without the knee. So it was just like a clean, like a boom, 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 you know, like just a clean fucking 1-2-1, and absolutely fucking put him out cold. Then he got on the ground, and they should have stopped it there, in my opinion. Because you could see in the replay that Sadiq Yusuf was out cold, like eyes rolling back the head, dead. He was a corpse for 5 seconds right there. Ref didn't step in, hammer fisted. Sadiq does a little bit of grappling. They try to get to their feet. And then Lopez just lands another clean fucking uppercut and drops him almost out cold. Finishes the fight right there. Kind of sucks for Sadiq because he speaks like coherent English and he's not a terrible fighter, but he's a good like low ranked featherweight. Like he can kind of like he can be a gatekeeper for the rankings of featherweight pretty well, I think. But Lopez is him. He's just built different. Like he's just got different power. Um, insane, actually insane. And if you're not aware, Diego Lopez has been talking shit with Mozavar Evloev on Twitter. That shit is hilarious to watch. Diego Lopez is a savage. Um, oh, it's just a good fucking fight. And then we have Holly Holm, Kayla Harrison. So moving on, we have Calvin Kattar versus Aljamain Sterling. I'm joking. I'll break it down. Um, I was watching MMA Guru for this fight because I just didn't want to watch this fight. I think I picked Holly Holm. I think I don't remember because I just don't give a fuck. Um, but MMA Guru made this fight tolerable. I'll be honest. Kayla Harrison's a man. I don't know. I don't know how she's allowed to fight in the women's division. She's just a dude. If you see her back, that's a man. Like she's just born a man. So this was like watching a man just beat the shit out of a 42-year-old dinosaur. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I will say Kayla Harrison's sloppy on the feet, but I don't think it matters because she's just a man. You know, like she's just a dude. So, I think she just runs through the whole division. Like I don't think anyone's gonna stop a man from getting the belt. But anyways, it was just her out grappling Holly Holm for fucking a whole round, just laying on her for 4 minutes, and then she got around in round two and fucking muscled her down again after throwing a really sloppy 1-2. That's pretty much it. Calvin Kattar, Aljamain Sterling. A lot of people are probably upset with this fight's results. Um, I'm pretty sure I picked Calvin Kattar by like a fucking knee. And it just sucks for Kattar. I was hoping he was gonna get a knee, kind of. But yeah, I'll own up to it. I was wrong on this pick for sure. But if Aljo wins, like, this is the world where he wins, you know? Aljo's not gonna win by like a highlight KO. He's not gonna win by outstriking his opponent for however many rounds. It could be fucking anyone. Aljo couldn't outstrike him. He just lays on you, you know? That's just Aljo. Like, that's how he fights. He gets your back. He holds you there. That's pretty much it. Yeah, average Aljo fight. Good Aljo win. Calvin Cater's not shit, but his career is definitely done. Like, he'll never be a contender again, but he's cool, I guess. He's good if you want to put him against like all the strikers. Yuri Prohaska versus Alexander Rakic. Oh my god. If you told me this was like your fight of the year or fight of the decade, I wouldn't even disagree with you. This fight was fan-fucking-tastic. And I'll explain why. Alexander Rakic, this was a battle for the European Kings, and they both seem like they want it. Yeah, I don't know any human being on this planet who didn't have a better performance than Rakic in round one. He did like, let's say this was a fighting game and you had to do a 50% combo and you had to do like a 100 button combination. Rakic did 101 correct. It was everything perfect in round one. He chopped up both legs. Yuri should have been barely able to walk on them. Rakic has nasty leg kicks. He was outlanding them on the feet. He was picking when they engage. I think he even wobbled Yuri at one point, or at least stumbled him. It was like he looked faster. He seemed in a better stance. His lights were definitely turned on. Yuri was slowing down a little bit. It was just like the world was in Rakic's hands in round one. And in round two, I think Rakic just realized he's fighting a demigod sent from the fucking heavens, and he's just not gonna win. And I can't blame him. Because I don't know how Yuri Prohaska is a human being on this planet with that toughness. I'm not talking just chin. His chin is on another level. Let's get that straight. The fact that Yuri Prohaska looks like he doesn't have a specific technique to anything. This guy looks like if someone who watched anime decided to fight after 30 years of watching anime. That's what this guy looks like. Bro, how does his body just take damage and just ignore it like that? Like, this was Yuri on a training camp. If you don't know, when he fought Alex Pereira for the belt, apparently he had 1 day training camp or some shit, or he had 10-day training camp, something like that, something really fucked. He didn't train for the fight, basically, and he stepped up on short notice. Allegedly, after that nasty shoulder injury. And man, just like, when this fight ever goes up to free fight, I'm just gonna sit there watching that on repeat for 24 hours, because this fight was just fucking sick as shit. Like, I wasn't a huge Yuri fan before this. I wasn't even a Rakic fan before this. I thought Rakic was a little overrated. Like, no one beats Yuri. Yuri he can eat anything you throw at him. You could start the fight with a sledgehammer on your right hand and just fucking lose based off Yuri Prohaska breaking the sledgehammer with one of his limbs. Like, a human being cannot be this tough. Like, it's illegal. He has to get nerfed. Actually, I think he's a little bit on the spectrum. So maybe that's his debuff. Unfortunately, maybe that's his debuff. He's just a little not all there mentally. In terms of his brain, I think he probably has like 30% of his brain. But nah, like, if I saw Yuri in real life, I'd probably shit my pants. He's just a walking fucking actual samurai. Anything he says, bro, he can have it. If he wants to be a samurai, bro, he can be a samurai. If he wants to go to space, I believe it. I believe it. This guy can do whatever the fuck he wants. I'll never, ever doubt Yuri again in any fight. He's just that guy. Um, insane. Like, I'm just thinking about the fight, fucking like 8 to 10 hours after the fight. Insane, bro. He literally just can't take damage at all. It's just broken. He's OP. Anyways, moving on. Um, Cody Brundage with the spinning heel kick to knock out Bo Nickel in round one. Insane performance by Cody Brundage. No, I'm joking. Nah, like the thing was in this fight was if you were on the Bo Nickel side, you're thinking this was a step down from competition because Cody Brundage is probably the worst middleweight of all time, and it's not even fucking close. Um, but if you're on the Bo Nickel side, you were probably thinking this was like round one, whatever, and to find value, all of you dumb fucking idiots decided to bet round one. And he got a round two submission. But the thing is that the longer Bo Nickel fights, the more tape there is to study. So I think Cody Brundage just kind of knew what Bo Nickel goes for, especially because he knew he was going to go for the grappling. A heavy grappling game plan. Cody Brundage had a sick moment where he tossed him off of him, threw him against the cage. It is what it is. It's not like oh my god, this guy's the next one. No, it's just he got thrown to the cage. You know that happens in fighting when they're the same weight class. Fucking idiots. But Cody Brundage is shit. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong. Genuinely, his face is like if the jock at high school decided to put on glasses. I don't know how you can have like a jock face and like a sportsy guy build, but like wear glasses and just look like a fucking nerd that you're doing my taxes. Like, am I crazy? I don't know. Personally, that's how I see it. Um, yeah, Cody Brundage. Who knew he'd be the one to make it to round two with Bo Nickel? Uh, how bad is Val Woodburn? I think that's what we found out, you know? But I don't know. Good fight for the Ginger, 6-0. He'll go on to do great things, I guess. But yeah, I think people are gonna hate on Bo Nickel just for not getting a finish in round one because you all had fucking money on Bo Nickel round one. Like, just be honest. You don't have to hide it. It is what it is. Charles Oliveira, Armin Tsarukyan. I don't even want to think about this fight. Fuck Armin Tsarukyan. I hope he gets cut from the UFC. I hope he gets slept in his next 3 fights. I hope Bobby Green is the one to end his career. Um, Armin Tsarukyan's a cunt. Ah, fuck. I gotta stop saying that word. But he's a cunt. Get him out of the UFC. I hate him. He's boring. He doesn't provide anything. He's got one round of like explosiveness, and then he's just wrestling for the next 10 minutes. He gets smoked by Islam straight up. And this isn't even like a bias thing. His wrestling is good, but he's not going to be able to take down Islam like the way he thinks he is. Charles had moments. This fight was close. End of the day, Armin did technically win because of control time. I think it's bullshit that he won because of control time. I know if you're on the Charles side, your argument is that, oh, well, round one he had a decent submission pulled off, and in round three, he had like a finishing sequence at the end. No, he didn't. He had what looked like a finishing sequence, but if you could see like the one angle, he basically had a really close Darce when it came to like all of this action, but it wasn't under the chin, and Armin had one of his fucking hands out. I think Armin saw the clock, and he went limp. However, I will say, if the ref would have stopped it there because he thought Armin was out, I wouldn't have complained. But yeah, it wasn't a synced in choke. Um, Yeah, Armin's just on roids. Like, he's a straight up cheater. He's a dirty rat bastard. He's a dickhead to all of his fans. He's a dickhead to people in the crowds. I think he even smacked one of the people in the crowds while he was doing a walkout. He's just a bitch. Like, he's not fun to watch. He's annoying when he talks. Someone sleep him, you know? Dustin Poirier, guillotine this motherfucker. Fraud check this motherfucker. Alright? But yeah. Anyways. Oh, I forgot this fight happened. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, I forgot this fight happened. Yeah. This is probably one of my favorite all-time fighting endings. I love Justin Gaethje. I love Max Holloway. I think I did pick Justin Gaethje. And I will say Justin Gaethje wasn't going to win. It was, you know, it was 3-2 Max, 4-1 clear, I think, probably. Um, Sick fight. Man. Man, to get a knockout in the final second is one thing, but the way that was so like, bro, oh my god, man. Like, it's just so good. This might be like, this is Korean Zombie getting elbowed by Yair. This is Leon head kicking Kamaru tier finish. It was sick. It was a clean right hand over the top. If you haven't seen it already, go to Twitter right fucking now and watch it. One of the best, unless you're a Gaethje fan. If you're a Gaethje fan, I understand. We don't want to see the man die. And that's probably, honestly, my take for this is that this doesn't ruin any of their things. Max Holloway just has more options. He can fight for the 155 belt if he wanted to. I don't think he should. I think he deserves it. I don't think he should fight for it. I think he should focus on Ilya, get past Ilya, and then work on Islam. If Islam's even still around, because he fights once a year. But I think Justin Gaethje with another like win could get like a title shot, to be honest. Maybe two. Winner of Chandler McGregor, because that fight just got announced. To be honest. Or you could do Gaethje Oliveira too. Like, Gaethje has options here. It's not like this guy doesn't have fucking options straight to the belt. You know what I mean? Respect for Gaethje to even stand with that guy in the last 10 seconds. Just throwing whatever you could, basically hoping for a knockout. They delivered on this fight. Round 1 and 2 were a little boring. We'll just be honest. But 3, 4, and 5 heated up, and it was just... Max Holloway's just built different nowadays, and I think everyone's saying he's a featherweight GOAT. Can we calm the fuck down? Like, he's got, I think, a title defense, and he's lost to Volk 3 times. He's got to get the belt again and defend it a few times before we start saying he's a featherweight GOAT, guys. Like, are we crazy? I love watching him fight. I love Max Holloway. I like Max Holloway more than Volkanovski. I wasn't around during their first 2 fights. If I was, I would have picked Max Holloway. Even now, watching back Max Holloway losing, I still would have picked Max Holloway. I just love Max Holloway's personality. I love the way he fights. Great person on the mic. Everything's great. You know, can't praise this guy more. Not the featherweight GOAT. And to be honest, he's close, but not the featherweight GOAT. Not even in the conversation yet. Like, let's relax. Are we forgetting like Jose Aldo, or are we forgetting Volkanovski's still around? Yeah, like, he needs some title defenses. He needs a belt again, and then we can talk. Do I think he can do it? Yeah. I think he could probably get the 145 belt, depending who holds the 155 after Dustin Poirier guillotine chokes Islam Makhachev. And then do Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier too. I think you can get the belt again. You know, personally. I think you get 145 and 155 belt, possibly, and then become the GOAT of featherweight. But let's hold on now. You know, let's let his career ferment. You know, he's only 31. I think he's still young. You know, let him go. Let Jerome Holloway do what Jerome Holloway does, you know? And then we have Weili versus Yan Xiaonan. After this fight, I'll be honest, I was in post-nut clarity. I wasn't even really paying attention. I saw Wei Li get dropped in like round 1 and I think 3, I want to say. Yan did a lot better than I thought. I don't know how Yan didn't tap in round 1. She was in a choke for 30 seconds and just was fine. Like, I don't know. I don't know if Yan Jiaonan's a fucking human being or if she was sent from China's experiment lab. I don't know, but insane. I don't know how she didn't get choked out. There was another choke she was in actually as well. I don't remember. It was an arm in choke. Don't know how she was breathing. Um, but yeah. I think it was a good fight if you're a women fight fan, but you can't go from this to this. It's just they're two different worlds. Um, yeah, Zhang Weili gets it done. Good win, I guess. Um, yeah, I don't really know who to put her against. Maybe another belt holder after Alexa Grasso Shevchenko. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. Don't really care. Alex Pereira, Jamal Hill. Hey, prediction king right here, baby. I might have got most of the card wrong, but when I'm right, hey, I'm fucking right. Round 1 KO. Ooh, is that left hook? Oh, I know everyone predicted like a left hook KO, but I said specifically round 1. One of the sickest transitions too. Oh, nut shot? No, hold my beer. Fucking killer. Absolute beast, Alex Pereira. Really sucks for Jamal Hill. I don't think like Jamal Hill's never looked like that before. Also, he came in a little heavy. You know, I know he's a light heavyweight, but Jamal came in a little heavy. I know he comes in heavy. He looked a little extra chunky that time around. I was short notice. You got to take that into account, and that's kind of just why Alex Pereira wins. You know, it's just different power. Like Alex just has, like, when I saw Yuri just walk through Rakic, I just think Pereira knocks out everyone on the planet. Like, tell me I'm wrong. You know, there's not a human being on this planet that Alex Pereira can't beat with a left hook. There's just not. Um, Adesanya's only chance at beating Pereira was when Pereira drained himself to that soy weight class at 185. And after Pereira beat him 3 times, and after Pereira turned his brain off and went into autopilot, you know, time to collect my paycheck, right hand, right hand, drop the hands, and get clipped. But, is what it is. Man, if we were in the timeline where Pereira won that time as well, holy fuck, we would be in a different world right now. But, I'm glad I'm in this timeline. Pereira knocking out Jamal Hill in one of the sickest transitions. I see some people saying that, like, the nut shot had something to do with it. I also agree that the nut shot did have something to do with the like on off. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Jamal Hill ever had like a I'm better than you. I need to prove myself to you, brother. You know. I don't know why I did that for his voice, but you know. Yeah, I don't think Jamal ever felt like that to Alex. You know, I don't think there's actual animosity. I don't think there was any like sort of real, like, I'm better than you, I need to fucking prove it. I think it was more like he's just trying to hype up the fight. And you can tell, like, he's not, like, a bad piece of shit human being. You know what I mean? Like, Jamal Hill's a genuine good dude. But Alex just his different, you know? And when Alex got that nut shot, and he's like, no, hold on now. Boom! You know? Jamal definitely was just like, oh, sorry, you okay? Okay. You know, it just happens. Did the nut shot have something to do with it? Yeah, but it only like probably 5%. I think eventually that was gonna happen in that round anyways. Obviously I'm biased, I picked him to win by round 1 KO. You can say whatever the fuck you want, I was right, so eat shit. But yeah, and that's the card, you know? That's the card. Sick fights. All of them amazing, except for Sarukian. He can go fuck himself. I hope he gets up in his next fight. Other than that, Yeah, nothing but like great, consistent fights, you know? We had three shit breaks throughout the entire fight. It was great. It was a good card, fantastic card, probably one of the best cards of all time. Definitely the best card I've ever watched, hands down, not even fucking close. Um, yeah, I look forward to all these prospects coming up. I look forward. I think there's a great argument for Alex Pereira being the greatest combat athlete of all time. He called out Aspinall, which is insane because I don't think anyone was actually expecting that to happen. Uh, if that happens, nah, if he beats Aspinall, we have to agree that this guy's like the best fighter of all time. Or John Jones. I mean, John Jones is gonna wrestle because he's gay. But if he beats them, greatest combat athlete of all time. Not even a fucking question. And he's done it in 10 fights. 10 fights. He's done this. Or sorry, I think it's 8 fights in the UFC. Yeah, something like that. 7 or 8 fights, and he's got 2 belts. He had to get a title shot. It wasn't. He was fed a title shot. He had to earn a title shot in both divisions. He got the belt in both divisions, and he's defended the belt in light heavyweight. No, once now. Um, he's about to do it again in Brazil, baby. Let's go. That card needs some fucking fights. But yeah, I'm just gonna be in post nut clarity for the whole month. These fights were amazing. I love the UFC. If you're an MMA fan, you know what's up now. This shit was just too good. Happy to be an MMA fan. Happy to watch UFC. Oh, it's just a good fucking day, to be honest. But anyways, that's all I have. Just wanted to get a video out. Thought I'd put my reactions and breakdowns and shit up there on the internet. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day, like I will.